Hey guys, it's Emily. 3 years ago I was sleeping on the floor. Not because I'm dramatic. Because I had one mattress in the whole apartment and I gave it to my daughter Ava. She was 3 back then. I would wait until she fell asleep, kiss her little forehead, and then drag a blanket to the cold living room floor. That was my bed. Some nights I cried so quietly I had to bite the blanket so she wouldn't hear me. My bank account had $37. Yes, 37. I counted it every single day like maybe it would magically grow. Rent was late again. The lights flickered every time the fridge turned on. And my ex-husband, Mike? He was long gone. He packed his Xbox, his clothes, and walked out the door the day Ava turned 1. He said, "I'm not ready to be a dad, Emily. I'm sorry." And just like that, he disappeared. No child support. No phone calls. Nothing. Fast forward 3 years. Ava is 6 now. I work mornings at a coffee shop and nights cleaning offices. I wear the same black jeans until they get holes because new ones aren't in the budget. Makeup? What's that? My hair lives in a messy bun. Dating? Please. The last time a guy smiled at me, I thought he was just being polite. I had given up on love. Completely. I told myself, Emily, it's you and Ava against the world. That's enough. And most days it really was enough. Seeing her little face light up when I picked her up from school made every tired bone in my body feel okay. Then came that one Tuesday night. It was past midnight. Ava was finally asleep after 3 stories and 2 glasses of water. I was sitting on the floor scrolling on my cracked phone, just trying to stay awake until my next cleaning shift at 5 a.m. I opened Facebook for no reason. Honestly, I never post anything. My profile picture was still me and Mike from 4 years ago because I never bothered to change it. That's when I saw it. A little red notification. 1 new friend request. The name made me freeze. Ryan Carter. My heart actually stopped for a second. I'm not exaggerating. Ryan Carter. The Ryan Carter from high school. The guy every girl had a crush on. Captain of the basketball team, blue eyes, that half smile that made teachers forgive his late homework. And me? I was the quiet girl who sat in the back, wore hoodies 2 sizes too big, and never ever thought he even knew my name. We weren't friends back then. We had 1 class together junior year. That's it. Once he asked to borrow my pencil and said, "Thanks, Emily." And I remember floating through the rest of the day like an idiot. That was the most we ever talked. After graduation he moved away, I got married way too young, had Ava, and life happened. So why was Ryan Carter sending me a friend request 12 years later at midnight? I stared at the screen so long my eyes burned. Part of me wanted to delete it and pretend I never saw it. Good things don't happen to girls like me. Good things happen to girls who have their life together, not single moms who eat cereal for dinner. But my finger hovered. And then I clicked accept. 2 minutes later a message popped up. I'm going to read it to you exactly how it came, word for word, because I still have the screenshot saved like a crazy person. Hey Emily. I hope this isn't weird. I saw your name come up in people you may know and I literally couldn't scroll past. You look exactly the same. Beautiful. I always regretted never talking to you more in school. How have you been? I dropped the phone on the blanket. My heart was beating so loud I thought it would wake Ava up. Beautiful? He called me beautiful? I looked down at myself. Old t-shirt with a tiny hole near the shoulder, no bra, hair that hadn't been washed in 3 days, and crusty mascara from 2 days ago because I forgot to take it off. I didn't know what to type back. My hands were shaking. I started typing hey like 10 times and deleted it every time. Finally I wrote the most basic thing ever. Hi Ryan. Wow, this is random. I've been okay, I guess. Life's crazy. You. He typed back instantly. Life's been a ride. I just moved back to the state a few months ago. I'd love to catch up sometime if you're comfortable. No pressure at all. I stared at those words until the screen went black. Catch up? With Ryan Carter? The guy who could have dated anyone in high school was asking to catch up with me? The broke single mom who can't even afford real pillows? I put the phone face down and just sat there in the dark. My mind was racing 100 miles an hour. Was this a joke? Was he drunk? Did he think I was someone else? Then another message came through. Emily, are you still there? I picked the phone up with shaky fingers and before I could overthink it I typed, "Yeah, I'm here. This just feels like a dream or something." He sent a smiling emoji and then, Good dreams or bad dreams? I laughed out loud in my empty living room. Actually laughed. I couldn't remember the last time I laughed that hard. And that's when he sent the message that changed everything. The one that made me feel something I hadn't felt in years. Emily Johnson. I always wondered what would have happened if I had been brave enough to talk to you back then. I'm not making that mistake twice. I read it 5 times. 10 times. My eyes filled with tears and I didn't even know why. I looked over at Ava sleeping peacefully on the only mattress we owned and I whispered to myself, Emily, don't be stupid. This is crazy. But my fingers were already typing back. And guys, what he said next made me gasp so loud I had to cover my mouth. I'm going to tell you exactly what it was. But only if you stay till the end of this video because trust me, you're not ready for what happened after that one message. I'm still Emily, still whispering because Ava is asleep in the next room, and I don't want her to wake up and see her mom acting like a teenager. So there I was sitting on the floor in the dark, phone lighting up my face like a flashlight. Ryan had just sent that line. I always wondered what would have happened if I had been brave enough to talk to you back then. I'm not making that mistake twice. My stomach did a full flip. I felt hot and cold at the same time. I didn't know whether to cry or throw the phone across the room. I finally typed back the only thing I could think of. You're being serious right now? 3 dots. He was typing, then they stopped, then started again. I held my breath so long my chest hurt. His reply came, dead serious, Emily. I never forgot you. Not once in 12 years. I dropped the phone again. My hands were shaking like I had just run 10 miles. I need to be honest with you guys. After Mike left, I built a giant wall around my heart. I told myself no man would ever get close again. I couldn't survive being broken twice. So I became super mom, super employee, super tired but never super hopeful. But Ryan's words were like someone taking a hammer to that wall. I picked the phone up and wrote, Ryan, I'm not the same girl from high school. A lot has changed. I have a daughter. I'm a single mom. Life is messy. I hit send and immediately wanted to unsend it. Great, Emily. Scare him away before he even starts. He replied in less than 10 seconds. I know you have a little girl. Her name is Ava, right? I saw the pictures on your page. She's beautiful just like her mom. And Emily? Messy is okay. I like messy. I stared at those words until they blurred because tears were in my eyes. How did he even know Ava's name? I only had like 5 photos public and most of them were just her feet or the back of her head because I'm protective like that. I typed, how long were you looking at my page? His answer made me laugh and cry at the same time. Long enough to feel like the biggest stalker on earth. Please don't block me. I actually laughed out loud again. I had to cover my mouth with both hands. We kept talking until 4:30 in the morning. I had to be at the coffee shop at 6. I didn't care. For the first time in years I felt seen. Not the tired waitress, not the broke mom, not Mike's leftover, just Emily. Every night after Ava went to bed, my phone would light up. Ryan started saying goodnight to me like it was the most normal thing in the world. He asked about Ava's favorite color, pink, her favorite cartoon, Bluey. What makes her laugh? When I dance silly. He cared more about her than about sending me shirtless selfies, and guys, that was new. After 2 weeks of talking every single night, he dropped the bomb. It was a Thursday. I was folding tiny socks on the floor when my phone buzzed. Ryan? Emily. I'm driving to come see you this weekend. I can't wait anymore. I need to see you in real life. My heart stopped. Full panic mode. 8 hours away. He wanted to drive 8 hours just to see me? I looked around my tiny apartment. Dishes in the sink, toys everywhere, one light bulb that flickers, me in the same hoodie I wore 3 days in a row. I typed back faster than ever. Ryan, no. Please don't. I'm not ready. My place is a mess. I look like a zombie. Ava will be here. It's too soon. I thought that would stop him. I thought he would say okay, maybe later. His reply came in 1 second. Emily, I'm already in my truck. I'll be there Saturday morning. If you really don't want me there, I'll turn around. But I'm coming. I need to look at you when I say the things I've been typing. I screamed into a pillow. A real scream. Ava almost woke up. I told him no 10 more times. I told him I wasn't shaved, my nails were broken, I didn't even own anything cute to wear. He just kept sending smiling faces and hearts. Saturday morning came way too fast. I woke up at 5 a.m. in full panic. Clean like a crazy person. I shoved toys under the couch, wiped the bathroom 10 times, put on the only decent shirt I owned, and still looked like a tired mom. At 9:17 a.m. my phone buzzed. Ryan. I'm parked outside. Black truck. I'm nervous as hell. I looked out the window and there he was, tall, same blue eyes, same half smile, but now holding a bouquet of pink roses and the biggest teddy bear I have ever seen. I opened the door in old yoga pants, messy bun, no makeup, morning breath, looking like the hottest mess on planet Earth. And do you know what he did? He smiled like he had just won the lottery, stepped forward, and said the words that made my knees give out. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said, but only if you stay till the end, because what happened in the next 5 minutes changed my life forever. I'm still shaking telling you this part. So there I was, standing in the doorway looking like I just rolled out of a laundry basket. Old gray yoga pants, oversized hoodie with a tiny juice stain on the sleeve, hair that hadn't seen a brush since Wednesday, and zero makeup. My face was literally shiny from the cheap moisturizer I put on 5 minutes earlier. And Ryan looked like he walked out of a country song. Dark jeans, clean white sneakers, black t-shirt that fit just right, and those blue eyes I remembered from high school. He had a little more stubble now, but that half smile was exactly the same. He was holding pink roses in one hand and the biggest teddy bear I had ever seen in the other. The bear was almost as tall as Ava. I wanted to die. I wanted the floor to open and swallow me whole. He took one step closer and said so soft I almost didn't hear it, "Hey Emily, you still take my breath away." I just stood there with my mouth open like a fish. My brain stopped working. All the things I planned to say, "Hi, how are you, nice to see you," disappeared. Then from behind me I heard the fastest little footsteps on the planet. "Mommy, who's at the door?" Ava poked her head between my legs, saw the giant teddy bear, and screamed the happiest scream you've ever heard. She pushed past me and ran straight to Ryan like she had known him forever. Ryan got down on one knee so he was eye level with her. Princess. I'm Ryan. This bear told me his name is Mr. Fluffy, and he's looking for a new best friend. Do you know anyone who likes hugs? Ava's eyes got so big. She looked at me like, "Mom, can I?" I nodded, still unable to speak. She grabbed the bear, hugged it tight, then looked up at Ryan and said, "You're tall. And you smell good." We all laughed. Even me. My face was on fire, but I laughed. Ryan stood up and handed me the roses. Our fingers touched for half a second and I swear electricity shot up my arm. "Thank you," I whispered. "You really drove 8 hours for this?" He looked around the tiny hallway, the peeling paint, the pile of shoes by the door, and smiled. "I drove 8 hours for you and Ava. The rest is just bonus." I wanted to cry right there. I let him inside. The apartment was cleaner than usual but still tiny. One couch, one small table, Ava's drawings taped to every wall. He didn't look shocked or sorry. He looked happy. Ava dragged him straight to her room to show him every toy she owned. I stood in the kitchen holding the roses like an idiot, trying to calm my heart down. 10 minutes later they came out. Ava was riding on his shoulders giggling. She never does that with strangers. Never. Ryan looked at me and said, "Can I take you two beautiful girls for coffee?" My treat. "And I promise I won't spill anything on your hoodie." I laughed again. I couldn't stop laughing around him. I said yes, but only if we went through the drive-thru because I was not ready to sit inside a cafe looking like a zombie. He said drive-thru was perfect. We climbed into his truck. Ava got the whole back seat to herself with Mr. Fluffy. Ryan opened my door first. Mike never did that. Not once. At the coffee shop drive-thru I ordered the cheapest thing, small black coffee. Ryan ordered the same for himself and a hot chocolate with extra whipped cream for Ava. When we parked in the lot to drink, Ava was in the back singing to her bear. Ryan turned to me and got very quiet. "Emily, I need to tell you something before this goes any further." My stomach dropped. Here it comes. He's married. He's moving to Alaska. He collects snakes. Something bad. He took a deep breath and said, "I was married too. 4 years. She left me 2 years ago. Took everything. I know what it feels like to be left with nothing. I know what it's like to be scared to trust again." I just stared at him. I didn't expect that. He kept going. "I saw your pictures with Ava and I thought this woman is strong. She's doing it all alone and still smiling. I wanted to know the girl who could do that. And then I remembered. I already knew her. From high school. And I was too chicken to talk to her back then. I felt tears coming. I tried to blink them away. He reached over and gently touched my hand. I'm not here to play games, Emily. I'm here because I never stopped thinking about the quiet girl in the back row, who used to draw hearts on her notebook. I lost it. Tears just rolled down my face. I didn't even try to hide them. Ava saw me crying from the back and got worried. Mommy, why are you sad? Ryan answered before I could. She's not sad, princess. Sometimes grown-ups cry when they're really, really happy. Ava thought about it for 2 seconds and said, Okay, can we get cookies now? We all laughed again. The tension broke. That day we drove around town, got cookies, went to the park, and Ava fell asleep in Ryan's arms on the way home. I have a picture of it. I'll show it at the end. When we got back to the apartment, Ryan carried sleeping Ava to her bed and tucked her in like he had done it 100 times. Then he walked me to the door, even though we were already inside. He stood there looking at me like he wanted to say something huge. Finally he whispered, Emily, can I kiss you? My heart stopped again. I was terrified. I hadn't kissed anyone since Mike. My lips probably tasted like cheap coffee in fear. But I nodded. The tiniest nod. He leaned in so slow, gave me a million chances to pull away, and then kissed me soft and sweet. Just once. Like he was scared to break me. When he pulled back, he rested his forehead against mine and said the sentence that made me cry in my car 5 minutes later. I've waited 12 years for that kiss. It was worth every second. Then he left. Got back in his truck and drove 8 hours home. I sat in my car and cried like a baby. Happy tears. Scared tears. Hopeful tears. And guys, that was only the first day. I couldn't stop smiling for 2 straight weeks. Every morning I woke up to a good morning text from Ryan. Every night he called and talked to me and Ava until she fell asleep on my chest. He started driving to us every single Friday after work and driving back Sunday night. 16 hours on the road just to spend 48 hours with us. Ava started calling him Riri. She would stand at the window Friday evenings yelling Riri's truck. Riri's truck. Before he even parked. The first time she ran into his arms and wrapped her little legs around him like a monkey. I had to turn away because I was crying again. He brought groceries without asking. He fixed the leaky faucet I had been ignoring for 6 months. He sat on the floor and colored with Ava for hours. And every night when Ava was asleep, he would pull me onto the couch, hold me like I was something precious, and kiss my forehead until I fell asleep in his arms. I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. Nobody is this perfect, right? But every weekend he showed up. Every weekend he stayed a little longer. Then came the weekend everything exploded. It was a Saturday night. Ryan had just put Ava to bed. We were on the couch watching some random movie, his arm around me, my head on his chest. My phone buzzed on the table. I looked at the screen and my whole body went cold. A text from a number I deleted 3 years ago. Mike. Emily. I miss Ava. Can I see her? I want to be in her life again. I dropped the phone like it burned me. Ryan felt me freeze. He picked it up, read the message, and his face changed. Not angry, just quiet. I started shaking. I couldn't breathe right. Ryan pulled me close and said, Hey, look at me. Breathe. You don't have to answer tonight. You don't have to answer ever if you don't want to. But I couldn't stop staring at the message. All the pain from 3 years ago came rushing back. The day Mike walked out. The nights I cried myself to sleep. The birthdays he missed. Everything. I started crying hard. Ugly crying. Ryan just held me and let me cry until there were no tears left. When I finally calmed down, he wiped my face with his sleeve and said, Emily, I need to ask you something and you can say no. I looked at him, scared. He took both my hands. I love you. I love Ava. I'm not going anywhere. But I need to know. Do you still have feelings for Mike? I answered without thinking. No. I stopped loving him the day he left his daughter. But I'm terrified, Ryan. What if you leave too? What if I let you in and one day you wake up and decide this is too hard? He looked me straight in the eyes. I'm not Mike. Promise you that. But promises are just words. So I'm going to show you every single day. Then he kissed me slow and deep, the kind of kiss that makes the whole world disappear. The next morning Mike texted again. I'm 2 hours away. I'm coming to see Ava today. I panicked. I didn't want him in my apartment. I didn't want Ava confused. Ryan saw the text and said, "Let me handle this." He took my phone and typed, "This is Ryan, Emily's boyfriend. Ava is happy and safe. If you want to see her, you go through the courts and you start paying the child support you owe. Do not come to this apartment." Then he blocked the number. I just stared at him. Boyfriend. He called himself my boyfriend. He looked at me and smiled a little. Too soon. I shook my head no and kissed him so hard we almost fell off the couch. That same afternoon we took Ava to the park. She was swinging and laughing, and Ryan was pushing her higher and higher. I was watching them, feeling happier than I ever thought possible. When Ava suddenly yelled down, "When you marry Mommy, can Mr. Fluffy be in the wedding?" Ryan froze. I froze. The whole park went quiet in my head. Ava kept swinging like she didn't just drop a bomb. Ryan looked at me with wide eyes, then back at Ava and said, "Princess, I would love that. But I have to ask your mommy first." Ava looked at me with those big eyes and said the 5 words that broke my heart into a million pieces. "But Mommy, don't you love Riri?" I started crying right there on the park bench. Ryan walked over, knelt in front of me and whispered, "I'm not asking today. But when I do ask, I need to know you'll say yes with your whole heart. No fear." I couldn't speak. I just nodded. That night after Ava was asleep, I tried to push him away. I told him this was moving too fast. I told him I was scared. I told him maybe we should slow down. He listened to every word, then kissed my forehead and said, "I'll wait as long as you need, Emily. But I'm not going anywhere." 2 weeks later he did the craziest thing I've ever seen a man do. You're not going to believe what he did next. I pushed him away. I really did. After Ava asked, "Don't you love Riri?" In the park, something inside me snapped. All the fear I had been hiding came out like poison. That night, after Ryan said he would wait as long as I needed, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking, what if he wakes up one day and realizes a single mom and a 6-year-old is too much baggage? What if he meets someone easier, someone without stretch marks and bills and a crazy ex? What if I fall completely in love and he leaves like Mike did? By morning I had made up my mind. I had to protect my heart. I had to protect Ava. Friday came. Ryan's truck pulled up like always. Ava was already at the window jumping and screaming Riri. I opened the door before he could knock. My face was stone. He smiled that big smile, holding a bag of groceries and a new coloring book for Ava. I didn't smile back. I took the bag, set it on the table and said, "Ryan, we need to talk." His smile dropped. He knew. Ava ran to hug his legs. He picked her up, kissed her cheek, then looked at me with scared eyes. I sent Ava to her room to color. She went, but she knew something was wrong. Then I said the words I hate myself for saying. "I think we should just be friends. This is too fast. I'm not ready. I can't do this to Ava if it doesn't work." Ryan looked like I slapped him. He put his hands in his pockets and whispered, "Emily, did I do something wrong?" "No. You're perfect. That's the problem. Perfect doesn't stay with girls like me." He stepped closer. "Stop saying girls like me. You are everything. I love you. I love Ava. I'm not going anywhere." I started crying. "You say that now. But one day you'll want your own kids, your own life, no drama. And we are drama." He tried to touch my face. I stepped back. "Please, Ryan. Just go. Let's stop before someone gets really hurt." He stood there for a long time. Then he nodded once, slow. "Okay. That's what you need. I'll go." He walked to Ava's room, knelt down and hugged her so tight. She asked, "Riri, are you coming tomorrow?" He smiled through tears and said, "I'll always be your friend, princess." Then he walked out the door without looking back. I closed the door and fell to the floor crying harder than the day Mike left. 2 weeks. 14 days of silence. No good morning texts. No good night calls. Ava asked for Riri every single day. She stopped eating her favorite cereal because Riri always made it with extra milk. She carried Mr. Fluffy everywhere and slept with his hoodie he left behind. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought the pain would get smaller. It only got bigger. Then one Tuesday I picked Ava up from school and she was quiet. Too quiet. In the car she said, "Mommy, did I make Riri go away?" I almost crashed the car. No baby, never. Then why did he stop coming? Did he stop loving us? I had no answer. I just cried all the way home. That same night, someone knocked on the door at 8 p.m. I opened it, and Ryan was standing there. But he looked different. Tired. Eyes red. Hair messy. Behind him were 3 big men carrying boxes into the apartment across the street. I just stared. He said, voice shaking, I quit my job. I gave up my apartment 8 hours away. I took the first job I could find here, night shift at the warehouse. I make half the money, but I don't care. I couldn't speak. He stepped closer. I rented the apartment right across the street. So every single day you will see my truck. Every day Ava can wave at me from the window. I'm not asking you to take me back today. I'm just asking for the chance to prove I'm not going anywhere. Ever. Then he opened a box and pulled out the biggest surprise of my life. You're going to cry when you hear what it was. I stood in that doorway staring at Ryan like he was crazy. 3 moving guys were carrying boxes into the apartment across the street, and he was just looking at me with red eyes and the softest smile. He reached into the box at his feet and pulled out a tiny pink bicycle with training wheels and a little basket on the front. He said, Ava told me last month she wanted to learn to ride a big girl bike. I've been keeping it in my truck for weeks. I never got the chance to give it to her. I started crying instantly. Ugly, loud crying. Ava heard my voice and came running. When she saw Ryan, she screamed, ROI, and flew into his arms so hard they almost fell over. He picked her up, spun her once, and whispered, Hey princess. I missed you so much. Ava looked at the pink bike and lost her mind. She kept saying, is it really mine? Really, really mine? Ryan put her down, walked the bike over and said, all yours, baby girl. And guess what? I live right there now. He pointed across the street. So every single day after school, we can ride together. Deal. Ava looked at me with the biggest eyes. Mommy, can he? Please. I couldn't talk. I just nodded. That night he didn't try to come inside. He helped Ava ride her bike up and down the sidewalk until it was dark. Then he kissed her forehead, told her good night, and went to his new apartment. And that's how it went for the next 4 months. Every single morning his truck was there. Every afternoon he picked Ava up from school when I had to work late. He cooked dinner in his tiny kitchen and brought plates over so I didn't have to cook after cleaning offices. He never pushed me. Never asked for more. He just showed up. Every day. One night in November it was pouring rain. Ava was already asleep. I was sitting on the couch in my pajamas when someone knocked. I opened the door and Ryan was standing there completely soaked, hair dripping, holding a little black box. He didn't wait. He just dropped to one knee right there on the wet floor in the hallway. He opened the box and there was the prettiest ring I have ever seen. Simple, small diamond, exactly what I would pick. He looked up at me, rain still falling on him, and said, Emily Johnson, I love you on your good days and your bad days. I love you when you're strong and when you're scared. I love Ava like she's my own. I'm not asking you to marry me today because you're ready. I'm asking because I can't go one more day without knowing you and Ava are mine forever. Will you marry me? I stood there crying so hard I couldn't breathe. All the fear came rushing back. What if, what if, what if? Then I heard Ava's little voice behind me. She had woken up and was standing in her pajamas. She rubbed her eyes and said, Mommy, say yes. Riri is our family. That was it. My heart exploded. I dropped to my knees in front of him, rain soaking both of us now, and I said, yes. 1,000 times yes. He slid the ring on my finger, pulled me up, and kissed me like we were the only 2 people in the world. Ava started jumping and screaming, We're getting married. We're getting married. We got married 6 months later in the backyard of our new little house. Yes, we bought a house together. Ava wore a pink dress and carried Mr. Fluffy down the aisle. She was our flower girl and ring bearer at the same time. Today we've been married for 18 months. We have a baby boy on the way, due in 7 weeks. Ava calls Ryan Dad now, and every time she does he gets tears in his eyes. Mike never came back. He disappeared again. That's okay. We don't need him. Ryan is the dad Ava deserved from day one. He's the husband I never thought existed. So to every single mom watching this right now, crying on her couch, sleeping on the floor, eating cereal for dinner, feeling like love forgot her address, I'm living proof it can happen. You are not too broken. You are not too much. You are not used goods. One day a man is going to walk into your life, or drive 8 hours, or move across the street, just to prove you're worth staying for. I said yes to love again, and I have never looked back. Thank you for watching my whole story. If this helped even one of you believe again, then every tear I cried telling it was worth it. I love you guys.